Okay, let's make sure this is actually working correctly. Should start any second here. I mean, it's already started, but should show up on my end that it's started any second here. I hope. Is it gonna work or not? Oh, I'm gonna be very annoyed if this started a whole other stream. Nope, looks like we are going. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Say hello if you like. Sorry that. Hey, good evening, Dark Rabbit. Sorry. Apologies if anyone was confused by the fact that this claimed to be starting a week from now. I can't pay attention to shit, and I didn't notice that I'd clicked the wrong fucking day in the little start later thing. So sorry about that. Yeah. So if you, oh, by the way, let me know if everything sounds good. I know right now you're just hearing me. Hopefully you're hearing me. But once we start playing audio, let me know that it sounds good or if it's too loud, too quiet, whatever. Yeah, so just a few words of explanation before we get going here. I'm doing Jamuary, which is a, one of many sort of do a thing every day for a month kind of a deals. The thing in this question is, or the thing in question here is to make a jam, a short piece of music, every day in the month of January, based on a series of prompts. I think there's an official site that runs it, like whoever started it, and they, I think, have an official prompt list, but I'm not really an official do what everyone else is doing kind of guy. So I decided I want to do my own thing. The last time I did this, I just kind of didn't use prompts at all. Just every night I would figure out what I wanted to do. I thought it would be fun to do some prompts this time. So I solicited amongst my social media following for prompts, and I got a list of 31. And I should have put that link in the description. I meant to do that, and I just realized I forgot. But you can, if you are interested, message me or whatever, or say so in the chat, and I will make sure I'll edit it into the description or something, or you can find me offline and or online rather, and I'll send it to you then, but off the stream. I'm very quiet. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. I think I turn the gain of my mic down. Yeah, that's what's going on. Sorry about the clattering there. Let me know if that's better. Yeah, let me know if that's better, and if not, I can add some more gain to the thing. But hopefully that'll do it. It was turned down a little from where I was because I was using this little pocket recorder that I use as a microphone. I was using it to record some other stuff that was louder, some impacts, and so I turned the gain down on it. Good, massively better. That's what I wanted to hear, and I just probably clipped the channel, but that's all good. Okay, so I had solicited a bunch of prompts, I was saying, and have been making things off that. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel of the first 13. This will be number 14, so almost halfway through. Yeah, and I've just I got a list of 31. I randomly use a random number generator to pick a number every day, and then I just do that prompt for the day. And today it picked prompt number 31, which is the last one I got in, and that's by Swarm of Dead Insects, aka Man Machine, on Mastodon, and he provided this sample, and I'm just gonna play this so we can hear what we have going on. It's short. It's like, oh, let's see how long it is. I guess it's a minute long, so it's not short, but it's not long either. So, and this is a binaural recording. So if you have headphones or good monitors, it might be worthwhile to use those. All right, that is our sample. So that's our prompt and our raw material today that we'll be using. It sounds like, and hopefully, by the way, let me know that you were able to hear that okay. If I need to turn that up or whatever, you should let me know. It should have been hopefully close to the same volume as my voice, but let me know if it's not, and I'll try and adjust that. But yeah, so it sounds like that's a sample of pouring some Legos or something out, a bag of beans or beads or something like that, getting poured onto a somewhat hard surface. But yeah, it's up to you. I mean, I'm down to for you to reveal it if you want to, or if you want to let it be a mystery. It won't really affect how I approach it or anything. Um, so yeah, I want you to follow your heart. Is what you should do. And if your heart tells you to spill the beans, then spill the beans. No pun intended. If it literally is the spilling of beans, and if your heart tells you to keep it close to the chest, then you should do that. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of different things we could do. The first thing I think I'm inclined to do is to grab a simpler. Simpler is Ableton's basic sampler instrument. So I'm going to grab a simpler. Oh my goodness, that's not right. That's not right. That's a tension, not a simpler. Delete. Grab a simpler and put it on this MIDI channel. And then we'll take this sample and come on. Ah, stupid thing. There we go. Put it in there, right? Put this here and put this here. So this lets us pitch this up and down pretty easily. And frequently with these sort of very high quality recorded very high quality, high not bitrate, high sample. So this is 96 kilohertz sample rate. And when you record that high, if you tune everything down, I'm sorry, I've lost the ability to speak. It's just FYI, so we're all clear about where I'm coming from. Standing in the shower, tube of my head. Oh, interesting. A rain stick made of a cardboard tube with a bunch of nails filled with M3 nuts and glued the end shut. Microphone in your ear, standing in the shower with the tube above my head. That sounds great. Amazing. Right, yeah. So since it's 96 kilohertz, you can slow it down and it'll capture a bunch of interesting things. Let's see if we can... There we go. Reverse the sample. So my first thought here is... Well, you know, it's funny. that this sample would come from someone who calls themselves Swarm of Dead Insects, because I know we already made a patch called Swarm of Dead Insects, but I have to say that that's what this kind of sounds like to me, is a swarm of dead insects. It has a sort of an insectile swarm sound. Okay, this is pretty interesting for sure. Now let's start playing with some effects. Like the first thing I want to do here is maybe put a weird little delay on here. Yeah, turn that off. Nice short delay time. Modulate it pretty intensely. And play. More feedback, maybe. A little wetter. Hey, Ursula's Cartridges. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you coming by. If y'all aren't familiar with the work of Ursula's Cartridges, I highly encourage you to check that out. I reviewed their album. Sorry if I'm using the wrong pronouns, Ursula's Cartridges. I actually am not sure what they are, so I'm just going to go with there until you tell me otherwise. I know that also can be problematic if you are feminine presenting and you feel like I'm diminishing that or whatever, and that's not my intention. I have no idea who's behind the name Ursula's Cartridges, and so I don't want to assume anything. I'm just going to go with there until you tell me otherwise. But Ursula's Cartridges, excellent musician. I just reviewed an album of theirs called, oh God, what was it called? Nocturnal Cities? Something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head because, again, I can't remember shit. But it was excellent, and if you go back into their catalog, they also have lots of other excellent stuff. I think Argentavis is probably what it's called. I think that's probably my favorite of their albums. I've actually been a fan of theirs for a couple of years. Came across them in a Bandcamp compilation for Business Casual, if I remember correctly, a number of years ago. Quite good stuff. Sleep Deprived Cities. That's right. There we go. That's right. A one-man music project. So that's a he. So your pronouns are he. He, him, I assume. So yeah, he is great. Check him out. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I was also telling you about my so-called life here. Been a crazy week. My day job, if you will, the thing I do for money that someone else employs me to do, has been about 3 times its normal volume this week of work. So I'm a little all over the place, and you'll have to forgive me. I have not got enough sleep this week. I am highly caffeinated this week, and it's made me a little loopy. Yeah. So anyway, so just saying that in case you're like, God, what is wrong with this guy? That's what's wrong with me. I'm overworked and underslept. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Let's see if we can get... So what I'm looking for here is kind of a swirly... swirly kind of monstery sound, if you will. Okay, that's pretty good. I wish we could... Maybe we can, actually. Let's get an LFO in here, and we will map that to the rate here. Let's try that now. There we go. And maybe we'll also... There we go. Map this one to time. That's too much. There we go. That's closer to what I had in mind for sure. And then we'll put another delay behind there to give a more traditional delay style effect. I don't have any grand plan for this, by the way. I'm just, you know, fucking around, doing shit that sounds cool. I think the Ableton... There we go. Dark Ribbit, thanks. Like these fascinating, yeah. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat here. All musical things I make start something like this. That's interesting. Swarm, have I heard your music before? I feel like I must have. I reviewed you, right? Sorry if I'm sure it seems very rude when I can't remember whether I've reviewed someone or not. In my defense, I can't remember shit under the best of circumstances, and just while I've been doing the Other People's Music project, I've reviewed almost 500 musicians. If you include all the years that I did it sort of semi-officially on an irregular basis online, which is almost 5 years before I started doing it as an official weekly project, that number definitely reaches 1,000 or more. And then if you go back and also include when I was writing about music professionally for 7 years, I don't know what the number is. It's probably close to 3,000 bands I've written about, something like that. So maybe that's an exaggeration. Let's say conservatively it's 1,000 bands I've written about. So I apologize if I can't remember specifically, even if we're sort of friendly or friends, even if I've recovered one of your things. I don't mean to be rude or dismissive. It's not that at all. I haven't covered you. Okay. Well, okay, fair enough. I feel like I'm okay. So I probably have heard some of your stuff on the Bandcamp stuff you've posted, but haven't covered you. So, but I'm interested to hear what you're doing. Definitely the samples that I've heard you post and that you've supplied for me have been very interesting. Okay, I like this. So let's just go ahead and record something. I don't know, right? Let's. Okay, so we made a 16 bar loop here. Went ahead and quantized it just so the delays would be in time in case whatever the piece that we end up making here is using in case it matters for it to be in time, is what I'm trying to say. So, all right, we've got a nice little noise bed here. Let's do another simpler instrument. That is a way I like to work with stuff often, not always. Sometimes I'll just work with the audio files in the tracks in Ableton. But sometimes it's nice to have the things that simpler can do. Okay. We'll just pick one of these kind of semi-arbitrarily. We'll really just go in here and try and grab like a hit, you know? Something that'll be a little different. And we may expand our palette a little bit, but I certainly don't feel like we have exhausted the possibilities of this sample yet, so I want to play with it some more before I move on to anything else. Yeah, so Ursula's cartridges, I am not a Fruity Loops user at all, or FL Studio, sorry. I know it's not Fruity Loops anymore. The last time I used it, it was still Fruity Loops, and we're talking like back in... I think it was after 2000, but it was probably the year 2000, or maybe 2001, 2002, like definitely no later than that. And so it was a very different program than it is today. So I cannot comment on how it's different. Ableton is what my production partner he was using when he and I started working together. And that's why I've been using it. It's pretty much simple as that. It's nothing more to it than that. All right, well, that's just kind of an interesting little impact. It's not that interesting. It's an impact. Actually, you know what might be kind of fun? Okay, let's delete this, actually. Delete. Let's do something a little more interesting than another simpler. Let's put a granulator in there, and we'll granulate this motherfucker. There we go. Let's see, let's actually take this, and we will... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. We'll take this, and we'll take this. So I'm just moving these braces, and then I'm going to crop this sample. There we go. And then this will just give us something a little more manageable to work with in the granulator. So we can just concentrate on one part of it rather than this big thing. There we go. And let's see what kind of interesting possibilities we can get up to here. I'm actually going to do something even weirder here. We're going to... Interesting telephone noise. Gotta turn the volume down on that. It's pretty unpleasantly loud, isn't it? Alright, so I am just, what is that? Sound quality and performance for, oh, interesting. Okay. It's kind of interesting. We've recreated the rain sound with the rain stick. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I mean, the great thing about making music today in 2025, 2026, what fucking year even is it? There's so many capable software and hardware platforms to use. If there was ever a time where it was like, oh, you have to use this or you're not, you know, you're not a serious creator or whatever. If there was ever a time where it was Pro Tools or nothing or Ableton or nothing or whatever, that time that's long gone. That's not a thing anymore. It doesn't matter. Hold on a second. I just realized that I might be having a weird issue here. Sorry. I tweak my settings on this all the fucking time, depending on what I'm doing. So sometimes I end up in some weird places, and the input was coming off the microphone, and I don't know if it was causing any problems or not, but it's fixed now, so. It's kind of an interesting sound. What can we do with that? By the way, there's a letter shade. Sorry. Yeah. Choose your poison. That's exactly it. As long as you're comfortable in whatever environment you're working in, you're good to go. I mean, nothing else matters, really. I've produced entire albums on the MPC-1. I have, done full tracks in modular without ever touching any software more complex than Audacity for a little mastering pass at the end. It's really just you choose how you want to work, and then work on your skills to get there, and that's it. It's as simple as that. There's really nothing more to it. So what I was thinking is that let's add some effects onto here. Like I kind of want to add there we go. I want to add a flanger. Oh, I already did. Burp, I don't want to add two. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I wonder if we can get like a filter on here to what do I want to do? I think I want a notch filter to kind of scoop the mids. I mean, I could probably do it with an EQ too, but I like notch filters. So let's try it with that. Choose a notch. Good, good. Okay, so put an LFO on this. Yep, it's sounding pretty interesting. Not exactly musical, but you know, I said on a different Jamuary entry, if Jamuary isn't about making a mess of noise from time to time, I don't know what it is about. So, I'm okay making a mess of noise today, if that is all that comes out of this. Put another delay on. I'm a big fan of delay. If you've ever listened to any of my work, you probably are well aware of this. Delay makes everything more musical. It's like an instant musicizer. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's record a little something here. All right. So I've deliberately made this a different length than our main loop so that it will overlap in a shifting way, right? So the other one's 16 bars, this one's 12, so they'll only match up every 48 bars. And then it'll kind of reset. So you get sort of a different shifting thing going on here. Yeah. Metallic Wasteland Ambient is definitely a genre that I have more than dabbled in. There's a fair bit of Metallic Wasteland Ambient to be found in my catalog, so... Time is just jamming right along here, isn't it? All right. I do sort of intend on being done at the 1 hour mark. You know. And let's see. So another thing I really like to do in Ableton when I'm working with samples like this is duplicate this. Pick another one of these to be our... Oops. Once again, I keep grabbing the wrong spot. pick a little bit of this to be our sample. So we'll start there, or in there rather, and start here. Crop that. There we go. And now what we're going to do is just take this sample and put it into wavetable. That is not what we wanted to do. Why did this not work? Is it too long? Let's just... that is... Oh, maybe it is too long. No. Is that... No, that should be fine. That should be fine. Why did this not work? Did I drop it in the wrong place? No, why do you keep doing that? Delete. I know this is possible. I have done it several times before. Oh, I see. Somehow my wavetable got fucking... Sorry, sometimes I talk to myself. You'll have to forgive me. Why? There it goes. I guess I was dropping in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. So this allows us to use your sample as a wavetable. I've been doing this a lot. If you've been following along, I think this is the third or fourth time I want to say I've done this. I might have to turn on a metronome. That was not a very interesting sequence, but let's tweak the sound design a little more, actually. Use envelope 3 to open the filter a little bit. So Ableton instruments are interesting because, like most of Ableton, they basically look like a fucking spreadsheet. They're very compact, they're very clean, but it can be a little difficult. It can be a little inscrutable when you first drop into them. You kind of have to get used to their visual language and whatnot in order to maximize your use of them. But there's also a lot of consistency across. Across them all, so that's nice. This is getting almost pretty. Let's see, a little chorus maybe. Put the old Juno chorus on it. Chorus Juno 60. Do the old double chorus trick. If it's good enough for the Juno, it's good enough for us, right? Put a buttload of reverb and some delay on there. We can maybe also add a sub Tone. It gives it a lot more body. This sample it's mostly noise and little impacts, so it doesn't have a strong fundamental. So this gives us a little more meat to, a little more substance, if you will. Yeah, it looks like a spreadsheet. Yeah, if you're coming from the tracker world, looks like a spreadsheet is definitely the default. And it's it's not really an insult. It's just or a problem, really. It's just when you first log into it, it certainly can be underwhelming, really, more than overwhelming, because it's just not clear where you're supposed to start or what things are. And Ableton also has this weird paradigm with the clips and the versus this arrangement view, which is kind of the more traditional view, and so it's interesting. All right, let's put this in a key. No reason to get fancy. Let's just go into C minor. Okay. Oh. Turn this down a little bit. And rather than playing something, I'm just going to program something in here. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Now we got a nice 8-bar. Space. Highlight the scale. Don't need to be looking at notes outside of it right now. A little quasi-chromatic walk down here. I'm just making sure. I have no idea how this will sound. If it sounds good, it'll be a miracle. We got to start somewhere, right? All right, so let's play that. really that interesting, but maybe we can, rather than trying to come up with something that sounds cool by playing it, let's make it sound cool by doing something stupid to it. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Now I'll put some echo on that. More of my favorites. Echo. Here we go. Oops. Echo. Okay. Alrighty. So, we got about 12 minutes left. Let me check these comments, see if there's anything is interesting. Yeah, man, that Eventide is, it's a fucking cool effects unit. Let me do a quick arrangement of this, and then I will share a few thoughts about that particular dealio. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. So now we have a, yep, just about the length that I have been shooting for. So when I jam, however you want to interpret that, whenever I screw around and make music freeform without necessarily having a destination in mind, I do tend to go really long. So one of the things that I've been trying to do for this Jamuary is keep it short. Just keep the jam to 1.5 to 2.5 minutes length is what I've been shooting for these. And on the ones where I've gone much longer, what I've tried to do is just clip out a piece, because I'm not trying to give anyone a job to listen to the fucking thing. It's supposed to be a little, here's the prompt, here's what I did with it, ta-da, the end. Okay, so let's listen to this, the ostensibly finished product. And there we go. Ta-da! That is the track. And... Oh, hell yeah. Ursula's cartridges, UC, I can call you maybe. I highly recommend that. Oh, man, I have so many VHS tapes. Let's see. Hold on real quick. Let me check the camera here. Oh, yeah, you can't really see. You can maybe just see that there's some... If you look in the corner there, that's my closet back there. There are... You can see some boxes, some cardboard boxes. Those boxes are full of VHS tapes. There are 1, 2, 3, 4... something like 9 boxes full of VHS tapes in my closet that I do need to go through and sample and whatnot. It's chock full of cool shit. Highly recommend sampling from VHS. It is an untapped and wonderful resource. Yeah, we were going to talk about this Eventide plugin real briefly. I got about 5 minutes here. It is an amazing plugin. When I bought it... Okay, so first of all, let me just say that I love it. Okay, so anything that is said negative about it in that context, you got to consider it in the context of this thing is freaking incredible. I definitely recommend it if you can get it for the $79 price and not for the $299 price. I do not think it's worth the $299 price compared to what else you can get. Okay, so, but with that in mind, my complaint. So this is called the Model H3000 Factory, right? Which would definitely lead you to believe, it led me to believe, that this is a recreation of the H3000 Factory presets. In one way, that basically this was a port of the H3000 to software. Okay, I bought it with that belief. As I was buying it, I noticed that there's another H3000 one that's called filter delays or mod delay, something like that. And I was like, oh, surely that's that one. And that one was cheaper. And I was like, surely that's a subset of this. It's for people who only want this one modulated delay thing. And then as I was like checking out, I kind of realized like, oh, I think it actually is not a subset of this. It might be its own thing. And I was like, that's fine. I'll get this. This one looks like it's got most of it. And then the other one must just be like they split it off to its own product. Okay, fine. No problem, right? They can do, it's their software. They can do whatever they want with it. But after using this for a week and noticing that there were a lot of very famous presets not in it, I decided to do a little more research. And it turns out that what this is so the original H3000 had like 11 or 14 sort of base algorithms that were like, there's a reverb and a couple of dedicated pitch shifters and this and some modulation effects. And this is 2 or 3 of the modulation algorithms bundled together. And that's it. That's all it is. So it doesn't have the reverbs. It doesn't have like the dedicated 6-octave pitch shifter and some of the other stuff. Now, I will say that they probably chose the coolest part package in this, but I do wish that they had named it a little differently and made it a little more clear. And I also wish that the other ones were available. It's just this and the filter delay is the only thing that's available. You can't get the reverbs. You can't get the dedicated pitch shifter. I'm sure that they've ported some of that code and updated it into their other plugins, and that's probably why they don't offer those things, is because they're like, no. We want you to buy the Eventide Black Hole or the Eventide whatever reverb. We don't want you to buy an H3000 that's got the reverb algorithm in it. So that's my little rant about it. It's unfortunate that they hadn't included, just even if I had to pay another $80 or another $200, I'll buy 3 or 4 more at $80 a pop. If I could get each set of algorithms at $80, I would probably actually collect them over the next 5 years until I had the entire thing. But they don't actually offer just this one and the delays, the bandpass delays are all they offer. So that's my little mini rant about the Eventide. I'm still a huge fan of this. It just does so much cool shit. The factory presets are amazing. The presets that come with it are amazing. And if you have the patience to actually program it, I'm sure that's amazing too. I just haven't got to that stage yet. A lot of old TV shows. Yeah, they do how they do for sure. It's not even really a criticism. If there's any criticism to be offered, it's that it's not more clear going in, right? Like, I probably still would have bought it had I realized that it was just, if they would have said, look, this is just the modulation algorithms. It's 3 fucking algorithms out of 11 of the entire H3000, but it's all the best stuff. And I think it is most of the best stuff. There's definitely a couple of the dedicated pitch shifter algorithms and some like early shimmer reverb stuff that you can do with the Eventide H3000 that this just won't do because it doesn't offer the reverb, for example. And that's a shame, but an H3000 costs like $5,000. So I got this for $80. It's hard to complain too much, but it is a little annoying. Yeah, that's it. That's the stream. We're all done. 1 hour in. We made a track. I'll probably, for those of you who, I will make a little dedicated, like 1.5 minute track of just the audio for the playlist. I'll probably reference this, link it in the link to that, so that people who are just wanting to follow along and see the jams don't have to sit through an hour of me doing this in real time, but they can if they want to. Next week I will be back with more, maybe another Jamuary, or maybe some more sound design stuff or whatever. If you have suggestions or requests, you can shoot them to me on social media. You can leave them in the chat. You can leave them as a comment. If you want to like and subscribe, it's really helpful. Apparently, I don't really know. I'm no YouTube scientist, but I'm told it's helpful. It makes you more visible, helps other people see my shit. And it doesn't really do anything to you because it's not like, I mean, my videos will probably show up slightly more in your feed if you subscribe to me. So if they don't want that, I understand. But if you ignore them, they still won't show up in your feed after a second anyway. So. Yeah, and if you want to throw me some money for some reason, I put my Ko-Fi link in the description, and you can do that. Not necessary, obviously, but capitalism. I have to stay alive somehow. Every dollar that I make doing this kind of thing means I don't have to earn that dollar doing the other stuff that I do, which is writing about stuff like pickup trucks and doing SEO management for people, shit like that. Just real jerk off stuff. Yeah, and I get all tired and loopy and worthless and can't do as much of this. So if you want to see me do more of this and less of that, throw a few dollars my way when you have them. If you don't have them, it's totally fine. I totally understand. Everyone, we're all in the same shitty boat. Okay, that's probably enough talking. Hey, yeah, Swarm, thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Dark Rebite. Thanks, Ursula's Cartridge, for showing up. Once again, it is cool to have made your acquaintance, especially since I came to your music before I met you. Please reach out with any special requests, questions that I didn't answer, etc., and I will be happy to answer those for you. Otherwise,